So, I played this game called Dinosaur Zoo, which, while not a bad game at all, has some major problems with its models. By the way, this is just a game, so please don't take this seriously. Anyways, enjoy. So, we're starting off with the Ankylosaurus, and the Ankylosaurus's head is just a ball. The armor, though, besides the head thing, is actually quite well done, so I'll give it that. The Ankylosaurus's armor is not incredibly easy to just not forget. It's kind of sad that we have to end this half-decent streak because the Deinonychus over here is just absolute trash. Look at how scaly this is. I know that this game is made in like 2017 and so it's not going to be the most accurate, but hey, just give Deinonychus a bit of plumage. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that hard, you know? The Deinonychus's head shape doesn't look quite right either. It looks a bit more like a carnosaur. In short, this Deinonychus is just not very good. Oh, by the way, that hump just looks completely ridiculous. Moving on. Relatively speaking, the Allosaurus is actually not half bad. It's just that its skull needs to be a bit more elongated than this, because this Allosaurus looks like its small head, as opposed to this Allosaurus. Hopefully, it doesn't have to bully the Ceratosaurus this time. Moving on to the Spinosaurus. This thing is completely outdated even by 2017 standards. Ironically, the Ultra Spinosaurus model's hump over here, its sail, is quite accurate for its time. The rest is just completely awesome, bro, though. Ulterinus, a fairly underrated hadrosauroid. I can forgive those spines over here, but you know, this guy being a strict biped in this game is a little bit weird. Anchiceratops. This Anchiceratops is supposed to look a bit more like a Cosmosaurine, as you can see here, with its frill and stuff. However, with how this frill is shaped, as well as the skull in on itself, this looks a bit more like a Centrosaurine than a Cosmosaurine. Its body proportions don't look quite right either. It's supposed to be a bit like stockier or something. Acrocanthosaurus, or as Brightside calls,
or a Crocanthosaurus.
This Acrocanthosaurus looks goofy as hell, don't you think? 1, its posture makes it incredibly unbalanced. 2, this is just not good skull shape. And 3, as also applied to most theropods here, the wrists are just not good. They're pronate, they're broken. Probably not the case for Acrocanthosaurus, but it's the case for Allosaurus definitely. And of course, the Spinosaurus, no matter in its adult or ultra form, also has the same problem. With this posture of the Carcharodontosaurus, I'm not sure how it's still not like ripped into 3 pieces. I mean, just look closely. The animation itself is just not good for the Carcharodontosaurus. The Carcharodontosaurus feels like it's just doing yoga, which non-avian dinosaurs especially cannot do yoga like humans can. The Carcharodontosaurus should be much more robust, especially on the neck part, because this looks like it's been sliced in half and just stitched back together, if that makes any sense. Where's the armor of the Scutellosaurus? Its head is also not quite right, as you can see here. It's supposed to look more flat, and it also has those osteoderms, as you can see here. Maybe not flat, but like a bit more narrow, especially on its neck. Heterodontosaurus, criminally underrated dinosaur, and also not criminally destroyed. These feel like they're pronated, which, like, this is not a hadrosaur we're talking about. This is just a Heterodontosaurus. So it's just gonna be more broken wrists. I can generally forgive this Heterodontosaurus head, even though it makes the Heterodontosaurus look a bit more awesome bro than it should be. The only other gripe I have is that it doesn't have those filaments on the back, on the body, the tail, and of this dinosaur. It's just on the head and maybe the neck. But unfortunately, it's just not enough. As you can see here, the Heterodontosaurus is supposed to have much more filaments than this. Oh boy, the Microraptor. This Microraptor, as you can see here, the blues are too light. Microraptor should look a bit more bird-like instead of just incredibly slender. The neck here is too long, and the head itself is just not great at all. I'm guessing this is the inspiration of the Microraptor for Origins Explains Troodon's Skullcrawler video. Now we're on to the Maiasaura. Maiasaura just unfortunately does not look quite right here. This thing is supposed to look like an actual hadrosaur, not whatever this is supposed to be. No hooves, which is sad. This thing looks like it's starving. Look at the head of this Ankylosaurus. It makes it look like a freaking devil. This must be the greatest spawn of Satan ever made. The osteoderms are not only just wrong in general, they're too spiky, but also a common misconception of just being another layer, when in reality it's more so integrated to the rest of the body. Gallimimus. Let's take a look at an accurate Gallimimus. It has feathers, as you can see here, and it also has a proportionately small head. This Gallimimus does not have plumage at all. Its eyes are terrible and its head is way too big. Pronated wrists again. Man, when can these dinosaurs just stop committing self-mutilation for content? Gallimimus is just not good at all. Let's hope that the next one we're going to review isn't as What in tarnation is this?
What the bloody hell was that?
Is this supposed to be a gigant Spinosaurus, and even then, I don't have to explain why it's inaccurate. How do you pronounce this name? Gtegosaurus? Gtegosaurus? Gtego... What's in the... You know what? I give up. Let's just move on. Gastonia should not have a club tail like that. It looks as if the creators of this game acknowledged that the Gastonia was not supposed to have a club tail, yet they just go, oh, a club tail looks cooler than a bunch of tail spikes, and so they just stuck one on the Gastonia. By the way, this is such a cool part of the Gastonia, and a lot of people just leave it out, including this game, which is just incredibly unfortunate. Arctic T-Rex, huh? Not bulky enough, pronated wrists, you get the idea. Dark Velociraptor, neck too narrow, too scaly as well. As you can see here, this is the Velociraptor. The head quills are just not enough. Carnotaurus. Those wrists are just not puny enough. The osteoderms are not quite right either. This is the Carnotaurus. Its osteoderms are supposed to be more dispersed and less spiky. And finally, we have the Irritator. You know what? I'm done.